viendo WeHo Sports.
You are watching WeHo Sports.
I am watching WeHo Sports.
It's the Harlem Globetrotters 2014. WeHo Sports. WeHo Sports.
Senor. What's going on? How you doing? Senor. What's going on? How you doing?
Good evening and welcome to WeHo Sports. My name is Bert Champagne, and tonight I'll be hosting with our ever-famous George Paul. Tonight we're going to be talking about some really exciting things. Our host, Raul Alonso, will be joining us. He'll pop in as soon as he gets done. He's at a speaking engagement, which he does frequently. Tonight we're going to talk about the NFL tryouts and Michael Sam. We're also going to talk about the Winter Olympics and all the fun and fails that's going on with them. We also are going to talk about the amazing time that Raul and George had with the Globetrotters this weekend. We're going to talk about the Lakers or not, and we'll talk about the LA Marathon, which is coming up in 3 weeks. So welcome to WeHo Sports. How are you, George?
I'm great. You may notice I am not in my suit and tie. I'm usually in a suit and tie.
Yes.
And the reason is because when the show started, it was mostly about soccer. So since we never talk about soccer, I figured I'd pull out my old soccer jersey, and it's the Liverpool. Unfortunately, they don't go by Carlsberg anymore. It is now Standard Chartered, the bank.
See, and I dressed up. I wore my marathon training jacket because we're going to talk about the LA Marathon. So let's get started and let's talk about the NFL tryouts. So Michael Sams could be the very first openly gay player in the NFL. Right now they're going through the tryouts. Right now everything's going smooth. What do you think, George?
I think it really will not affect his stock at all. He is a very high draft pick. He is a very good player. Offenses fear him. They really do. And I think
I agree.
And the culture is changing in the locker room. It really is. There's an amazing article in the LA Times, and it tells you, look, I got it right here. Charlie? That's
catch up on that?
You come on, zoom in, Charlie. Give me a thing.
Well,
here.
move your fingers out of the way.
Oh, let me move that. There we are. But yeah, there he is, Charlie, hot off the LA Times.
But you know, there's a lot of talk right now about the locker room. They're like, oh, how can a gay player be in the locker room? If you don't know he's gay, whether you do know he's gay, he's not the only gay player playing. He's the only openly gay, honest person to say, hey, look at me. This is who I am. I want to play football, but I want to be honest with all of you. I want to come out and say what's going on. I don't want to, have it come up and sneak up behind me because, so many times, somebody wants to out somebody.
And it doesn't really matter in the locker room anymore. There's so much going on in that locker room. As soon as the game's over, you have the press in there. You've got a ton of people in there. Cameras are everywhere. I remember a couple weeks ago, well, during the NFL season, they snapped a picture of Andrew Luck taking off his britches there, and it was just a candid moment. And there were female reporters in front of me. He's like, he had that look like a reindeer caught in the headlights.
In the headlights, deer.
Yeah.
Oh, well, just like a few years back during the Super Bowl, they were at the locker room, and you see somebody go BA across, and I was like, wait, did we just see that?
Yeah.
And I happened to be taping it because, I love the Super Bowl, and I love all of the commercials.
There was a full moon then.
There was the moon over Miami. But there's so much going on in sports, and like you said, in the locker room, there's so much going on. Everybody's running in and want to talk to you. Everybody wants to interview you. They don't care who's doing what, and they've just either gotten beat or beat somebody, so they're on a natural high or a low, and what they want to do is either clean their wounds or celebrate.
They want to get all that sweat off, get their clothes on, maybe go back to the team bus. They want to get out of there.
They want to get out of there, and especially if they're traveling. They want to get to their hotel, get some rest, because, they've been practicing all day. They've traveled. They've done all this kind of stuff. So you know what, Michael? We have a seat here for you at WeHo Sports. Anytime you want to come out here and speak to us, we are more than happy to we will support you no matter what.
Seat's right here.
The seat is right here.
There we
have
go.
a seat for you. But more importantly, we're going to celebrate whatever happens with you. We are going to be there for you in good times and bad times. Toast.
Toast.
Okay. So now let's go on to the Winter Olympics.
Oh, Bert, I've got a scathing. Absolutely, this is terrible. This is okay. In case you don't know, if you're really pissed off like I am against the Winter Olympics, the man to talk to is a guy named Mark Lazarus. He is public enemy number 1.
He is the person from NBC.
Yes, he is. He is the executive producer over there at NBC.
Oh wait, let's not say NBC.
Oh.
Let's be NB-no-C.
Nothing but crap, I like to say.
Yeah, nothing but no. That's not nice. We love NBC.
Yeah,
They have a TV show for me.
Okay, this past weekend they're actually under fire again because of a little incident with Kristen, the reporter, who pushed and pushed and pushed and actually brought the snowboarder. What's his name?
Rhodey?
Rhodey. Yeah, they brought him to tears, absolutely to tears, and they aired it on the 12-hour tape delay, and it just made everybody so angry because it wasn't part of the Olympics. He just absolutely was like a tiger with just gore, just going after him, and she just.
Well, you know it's one thing to get the story.
Yes.
And it's another thing to badger.
Yeah,
and that's what people are saying. But you know, other than NBC's coverage of the Olympics, which, you know, come on, we had the great ice dancing. We took the gold on that. Russia is out in hockey now. The women this morning lost. I'm sorry if you're watching this and haven't watched it yet.
Don't watch it on BBC.
Watch it on BBC.
Stream.
You have already seen it.
Yeah.
The medal count, USA is doing amazing with the medal count. But the men's hockey team is doing amazing. They are doing amazing.
Yes, they are.
I foresee gold. I see gold in them their hills. I mean, I think they're going to bring it home again.
I'll watch tonight on my live stream from the BBC. I got 4 of them on my computer there. Oh, and I wanted to go over this a couple last time. The cuts. I didn't get a chance to go through the cuts. I got a nice list of cuts here that they went through.
Give us a couple of them.
All right, they cut a third of it out.
We knew that.
Yeah.
You told us last week. They cut out the opening ceremony. They cut a third of it.
They cut the modern era. They basically skipped World War II.
Right.
Which is a very important part of the modern Russian history. They
right.
just skipped right over it. They cut the IOC chairman's speech. They did. Anti-discrimination. They cut a lot of speeches, but the IOC they cut because it was anti-discrimination, and the reason they cut it was Mark Lazarus came on. He said it was only cut for time, and he felt that everyone got his message, which I really don't feel they did.
Well, you know, the sad part about it is in West Hollywood, there's a lot of Russian immigrants here living here that speak Russian, and they are looking at what's going on. And if we're only giving them half of the story, you know, there's still demonstrations going on, people being arrested. Now, our own athletes are rescuing the dogs. If you haven't seen that, they are out there. They are adopting puppies to bring back here to the States. Last night. Today I was looking online, and one of the athletes was showing a coyote or a wolf coming through the hotel.
Yeah.
Because the hotels are so popular.
Yeah. But it's
we call it the wolf of Sochi.
I foresee some terrible things happening with the closing ceremony because last year was a total screw up. In fact, they cut out my 2 favorite acts. They cut out the Who, and they cut out Muse, and they replaced it with a preview for a show called Animal Practice.
The former show called Animal Practice.
Yeah, how's that show turning out? NBC, how's that show coming out for you on Animal Practice? Is it still working for you?
That one was what shows are working for NBC other than The Voice, really?
Yeah,
NBC is not the show to be seen. I mean, and it's sad because they may be owning our station soon.
Uh-oh. Well, I better keep running on this. But yeah, in case you haven't noticed, but yeah, please go to #NBCFail and #ShutUpMattLauer.
Matt Lauer. Hey, so you know, I was watching Late Night Show the other night, you know, because Jimmy Fallon, you know, is now the new taking over the Today Show or the Tonight Show, and I think it was from that show, and they said, how did Bob Costner get to the Olympics? And they said he took the red eye. I mean, the poor guy. I mean, it's sad. I mean, you know, but he's still brilliant.
No, yeah.
I mean, the knowledge that this man has is amazing. I mean, he actually knows what he's talking about. And then you have Matt Lauer, who won't shut up.
Yeah, no, he's terrible at what he does.
I would still date Matt Lauer, though.
I wouldn't.
Here now, anytime.
Matt Lauer, you're terrible. Stop broadcasting.
Matt Lauer. No.
Yeah.
Get that.
Yeah, get that.
Matt
Get that.
Lauer,
Bert.
that's what I have to say about Matt Lauer. Right there, Matt Lauer. Hey, so this weekend I had another engagement, but you and Raul
Yes.
had an amazing time out
We
with our
did.
friends, the Globetrotters.
That's right. Show them the ball. We got the Globetrotters
autographed, and it's the Globetrotters.
And I got a sweatband from Globetrotter Big Easy. Charlie, zoom in on my sweatband. Charlie. There we go. Yeah. That we actually went out to the court and did the YMCA with Big Easy. And it was so cool because I have never done that, and I felt like a complete idiot out there.
Did you feel out of your element?
I did. I did. But it was so fun to be right next to Big Easy. And we got an interview with him. We did. We got 2 interviews. We got one. Here we go. Here we see the mascot. Very good during the warm-up. They always feel like the Washington Generals and they play that night, the World All-Stars. We'll see them showing off some skill. And there we see the referee practicing. He's practicing for the game. They actually do that during the warm-ups. They have to practice their calls. And they're actually letting the children do some of their warm-up routines. Because it is so wonderful to see them warm up like this. And the referees, it was nice enough to admit, hey, I need practice with this. So there he is again. He actually was sick last week. He had some trouble last week, and he couldn't quite make it out to the track. They had to get another guy in last week. But here we see the Globetrotters again warming up. You can see in the back there they have a green screen. Here's MC coming in. MC, always a fun. That's our MC, and as you can see, the Globetrotters are always looking for future talent. As future Globetrotter there makes a basket, and unfortunately they have the next one doesn't quite make it as much. Unfortunately, she can be Washington General, and there you see Stretch in the background. Stretch is 7 foot tall, and he can make, who's that handsome devil? Look at that handsome devil, and he's with Globetrotter TNT, showing off her skill. Unfortunately, that handsome devil you see there does not get it as well, but he tries, as you can plainly see, and thank you for watching our coverage of WeHo Sports.
Wow. Hey, so Raul has now joined us.
Yes.
He was out on a speaking engagement. What did you think of your amazing time with the Globetrotters? Hopefully we can get your mic up there, Raul.
Yeah,
because you literally just walked in from doing an amazing speaking thing for AIDS Project Los Angeles, which you speak on their behalf lots of times. And I'm gonna air the time where you get dressed.
Yeah. We've been talking about the Olympics and how terrible I think they were. But
well, they have been terrible.
Yeah.
You know, we just saw the beating of this woman earlier today.
The women's hockey? Like Canada?
I am so mad with that because the United States should have won the gold medal.
Yeah.
They were winning 2-0 with 3.5 minutes left. And they lost it.
Do you think they got... So they lost the gold, but does that mean they're out altogether? They're not going to get the silver?
No, they just got silver.
Yeah.
They got... Okay, but you know what? I'm sorry. They still got silver. They should have had gold, but they got silver.
But Canada is the biggest rivalries for the United States in medals through the Olympics.
Yes.
Canada has twice as much than the United States in hockey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is really pissing me off.
But look at the men's hockey.
But the other thing in men's hockey, which is fantastic, guess who's out?
Russia.
And they're not getting any medals. Hello, Mr. Pluto.
So Raul,
we were talking about the Globetrotters. We got our.
we were showing your amazing ball that you have here, autographed by some of the players.
It was a ball for the whole for the station for WeHo Sports.
Right.
We had an
and look,
amazing.
I even have your amazing little pass over here
right.
that I
Well,
stole.
that's the thing that everybody had a pass, you know, and then at the end, because she picks up the pass, she says, "Oh, let me have all of them." I said, "Can I have at least 2?" And she said, "Yeah, you can have 2." I said, we would love it to hang them
There we go.
in here. That
Hang
would
them on
be
our show. I mean, come on,
perfect
this is
hanging right there.
We are moving on up here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are we? Yeah.
Oh,
But it hit me when I was over there. It hit me because I saw people taking pictures of me and everything, and all of a sudden I started freaking out because I had never seen, so many Latinos there, and they were so proud of me being in court and all of that stuff, and all of a sudden out of my eye I see this, and I started panicking. And I'm like,
Raul,
why?
wait, well, I don't know why. You do speaking all the time.
Yeah.
You spoke in front of 25 to 30,000 people at the AIDS Walk last year, and they were all taking your pictures because just this week I was going through pictures from the event because we're getting ready to do our 30th, and I'm like, there's Raul, there's Raul. Then farther down we see Drew Carey, we see, Polly Perrette. There's you again. Okay, I worked there. I don't have my picture in there. Just saying.
Well, it's just
Because you were center court.
I was
He was center stage.
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing that you guys got to do this, and we want to thank, the Harlem Globetrotters
Of
and their
course.
people for this amazing.
Their PR was amazing with us. Of course, you guys saw the footage. We went to Children's Hospital.
Yes.
That was an amazing thing to see how there were kids so sick there. And
Yeah.
when they came in first, they didn't want to talk to them. And just before they leave, they're all putting their finger, can you spin the ball?
And
all
you
this
know
other
it's
stuff.
funny.
And it's so great to see.
And it made you feel good, didn't you?
Oh, of course.
Because I was watching George here try to get the ball to spin on his finger. And remember last week in our episode that we did, we talked about the Harlem Globetrotters, and you talked about how 5-point-something seconds is the longest.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to see George do it, and I'm seeing, well, so
Yeah, it just went.
it went south.
Well, I
Yeah.
think his was longer than mine, because mine just went
That's perfect.
down. It went down the gutter where it needed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take it to the gutter. But, I'm impressed with the United States and
Yeah.
over there
I
at
mean,
Russia.
Ice dancing, we won the gold, and he
Uh-huh.
was so good looking, and what a performance.
Oh, thank you. You didn't have
Oh.
to say all
Ice
of that
dancing.
about
I forgot
me.
to touch on this.
Oh.
This is a huge NBC fail. I don't know why I forgot about it. It was about Plushenko, the Russian. I don't have it here with me. Anyway, it was about Plushenko, the Russian figure skater.
Uh-huh.
See, what happened was when he bowed out because of injuries.
Right.
We all knew about it. Everybody knew about it, except NBC. They still played it up like they didn't know. They were showing promos of him later that day, and then when they broadcast it on their tape delay, then they went and showed that he was bowing out, and they were like, oh, he's bowing out, all this news, all of the sudden.
No, what they're doing is they're trying to keep you to watch it so that you will look and see what happens and how he bowed out. I mean, it's come on. They've got to make that money. They paid a lot of money to host the
Yeah.
Olympics.
But I'm just so pissed with them because they have all of a sudden taken this spray roll.
Yeah.
And they took Johnny Weir just to cover their asses, just to have somebody flamboyant in there. But I've been reading a lot of stuff, and they are proud to be heterosexual right now.
Geez.
Proud as a
which
peacock.
really pisses me off, Your organization is full of gay people.
Yes.
You know?
NBC, proud.
And how
peacocks.
come you can't be proud of? Okay,
Yeah.
screw the Russian president. Screw them laws.
Johnny Weir, if
You
you're
know?
watching, come on this show.
They just put a whole bunch of stuff on Johnny Weir, how he's been dressing and all of this other stuff. But he also didn't want to ice skate because, he's married to his husband is
Yeah.
Russian.
Right.
And what's the deal?
But I was looking closing ceremonies. Billie Jean King didn't make opening ceremonies because her mother passed away.
Right.
But she is going to attend in honor of her mother. She's going to attend the closing ceremonies by appointment of our president.
And our deepest sympathy for
For
her
her.
and her family.
And you know what? She's going to go there in memory of her mom and be proud.
But it's like what I did now.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
nervous as hell. I was driving like 1,000,000 miles an hour to try to make it here. And she went through almost the same thing,
Right.
She was ready. She was all packed to go.
Right.
And then,
Yeah.
boom, she gets the call of
Yeah.
her mom being sick, and she had to drop everything.
Which every one of us would
You
do.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird that we're talking about that because 10 years ago today, my mom passed away. So it's kind of like, wow, 10 years has gone by.
Yeah.
But
You never
so anyway,
know.
so you think about it. You think about them. You never forget them. But we still have to move on.
So what else we got?
Oh,
We got the Lakers. Let's talk about the
Wait,
Lakers.
before we go that, I got one last thing to say here. It's a big NBA. Okay, Charlie, zoom in on this. Zoom in really good on this picture, and see if you know. There we go. Do you notice anything wrong there of what NBC did?
Well, the United States has a Canadian flag, and Russia has the American flag.
Exactly. Some people in Arizona.
But I mean, they've been doing all these kind of crazy things lately.
Yeah.
It's like they're not in their right mind. You know,
They're scared over there too. I don't know.
But it happens over there and it's happening here because they just did that to our senior hall.
Yes.
You know, they talked about the comedians and
All the late night people.
yeah,
but then they made up for it the next night.
Yeah,
They did
because
a really good
you know
job.
what he did, and I'm proud that he did that. I would have done the same
He
thing.
called them on task.
He called
Yeah.
them right on air, and he gave their phone number on air, and
Yeah.
he asked
He said who to
everybody to
call.
call, and
they
they
did.
overflooded their phone.
They shut it down.
Yeah.
They had to. They didn't have no other choice but to come and apologize.
Right. Yeah.
And they should have not made those kind of
But
mistakes. just like
you know what?
this.
And Brian Williams is a great reporter, though.
He is.
And you know, some of this stuff gets handed to him, and then he sees it later. So I can't blame him for it. But his comeback last night was brilliant, and even Arsenio Hall said that was really
Yeah,
good.
because
Yeah.
I saw, but you know,
Yeah.
it's still, you know, how you gonna miss someone, especially on,
Especially when you have Suge Knight show up.
you know,
Love you, Suge.
no,
Just saying. Suge.
and especially
Not in that way. We love you for
especially in Black
Don't hit me.
History Month.
I know, but
On
there's so
top
many
of it,
epic fails.
You know, it's like,
Hey, so let's talk about the Lakers.
Yes.
Or not. I mean, come on. They've lost the last 8 home games.
Oh,
so what's the
God.
big deal?
I
We
actually-
already know. I had already told myself, don't even think of
You
anything
said that
on,
months
on
ago
this
that you weren't
season.
going to give up on them.
Well, but you know, I came to realization, just like Kobe Bryant is coming to realization that he might not step back in the court, because
Right.
that's what he said in the
Yeah.
All-Stars, because the All-Stars was a fantastic game.
You enjoyed them, huh?
Oh, I enjoyed it. It was
You know,
the
I love
highest
Blake
score.
Griffin.
It was the highest score game ever,
Uh-huh.
you know, and they took our chance.
But
They beat us.
Yeah.
They beat us in the last minute because we were stupid.
Yeah.
We were leading by 18 points.
Word being the operative word.
I say
Yeah.
were. We were
Until
leading
we
by
got-
18 points,
like
and
the
then we
women-
lost it in the
it's
last
just
minute.
like the
just
women's
like that
hockey
women's
team.
hockey team, you know. They lost it in the last 30 seconds. We lost it in the last minute. So.
By the way, I was watching last night. They actually booed Dwight Howard as he, and there was a point where they faked him out. They were Dwight Howard was coming into the locker room, and someone went like this, and they withdrew their hand. And he went up to give him a high five,
him.
and he went, "Whoa!" Yeah, he went, yeah, he did the.
That's bad sportsmanship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That's
think,
still
I
bad
think,
sportsmanship.
I think
You should never boo
we
a
let-
player.
No, don't boo a
we
player.
love our teams.
We
Yeah.
love our
But
teams.
we should never do that to any player, no matter what they did. Okay, he was an ass, came in here and didn't perform and just took our money. But we're used to people
Right.
come and take our
If
money
we
anyway.
boo them for something they did outside of the game, that's one thing. If they went
Yeah.
out, you know, spousal abuse, so that we boo them for that, yes. But boo them because they missed a ball or something like that, or they traded to another team, that's just wrong.
That's
not
just
fair.
That was
business.
just-
That's
And
business.
you know what? It's all about the Benjamins.
Yeah.
It's all about the money.
Oh,
But
although-
yeah, he collected money here, and then he left us hanging, and now we don't have nada.
Now
So,
we're broke.
Now we
Yeah,
broke
broke.
it. We can't
We're
get no
now-
player. so we're screwed. We are really screwed.
I always thought
What are
LA
we
was the
gonna
place
do?
of the players, but
Yeah.
not anymore. all of our players are on the
Everything-
standby.
They look like the Special Olympics. They all hurt. I mean, it's like, hello there.
Oh, and another thing I saw last night. Number 14 of the Houston Astros got away with this, and they might actually come down in with this. He took a big flop. He did. I know it happens every game, but they actually.
They're just gonna find them.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to
big
find him,
deal.
so what? It's part of the game.
For
It's
the-
all about the money.
For
Again,
them, they can use that money and go.
shoot. Come on.
After that,
What?
they-
They're always at the.
that's
They're,
it.
look, they're at the
That's
strip
what
club going like this all the time. So
You
what's the
know?
difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Hey, let's talk about. In 3 weeks, we have the Los Angeles Marathon. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Um,
you're wearing the. Thank you, studio audience.
Uh-huh.
Look at his
And
shirt right there.
AIDS Project Los Angeles has over 100 runners who are going to be running in the marathon. It's 26.2 miles. It starts at Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Los
Los Dodgers. Yeah,
Get it
whatever.
right.
It starts there and it ends down at the beach. What an amazing run. It's all going to be through Hollywood and on their way through.
And I think next week we should show some of your favorite footage. 'Cause
Some of my footage from.
you were last year. You were there, and you were the grand papa.
Well, I've been there. Yeah, I've been out there for a couple of years
and
cheering.
Everything you had,
My
and people
Pope-mobile.
were going and they were doing this as they were running. Honestly, he had a ring. People actually pulled over to kiss his ring. It was such an amazing thing. It was great to see that even though you're there doing a fun thing.
They're at
so
mile
that
15. They're at mile 15 where you're like, that's when they hit the wall. They have a sense of humor and they can actually come out and say, hey, we're doing something fun.
Yeah.
And we had this, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
came
We
and
had
were around
the West
us.
Hollywood Cheerleaders.
That's right.
And we had Raul sitting there filming, and we did some WeHo Sports pickups. That was fun.
And remember, I follow most of the athletes that are from APLA, the
we
runners. I follow them as they were crossing where we were.
Right.
So, and I was asking them questions. So I will put a tape so we can hear what they were saying to get us warm up for.
I'll give you the abbreviated version. That's what they were saying.
Well,
Or, give me some water. Or move, Raul.
no, they were like, careful, you're going to break your ass, because I was running backwards with the camera like
He
this.
was running back. Well, they were going to say, oh, we're dying. Let's go see the Pope.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do to get that report that you have to, right?
That's right.
So,
and we do what we have, whether it's wearing a Pope outfit or a church
or going to the ball games or whatever.
Which I still think is amazing that WeHo Sports was invited by the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes, we were.
And their PR firm to come out and shoot some video. You guys had a great time. You got to play ball. I saw you trying to spin the ball.
Oh, he didn't told you the most amazing thing.
What's that?
Hey, we were in court dancing.
No, he told us that.
Yeah, I did.
And it was fantastic.
It was. I got to stand right next to Big Easy and do the YMCA to both courts.
But he told you what happened, though.
No, what happened?
We almost didn't get it.
Yeah,
there.
we almost didn't.
Why?
The PR had told us at the end of the third quarter, we're going to do this, and we want you as a special guest to dance with them, right?
Okay.
So I'm all excited. And
we're about to go out.
So we're about to go out there, and the guy goes, you can't come in here. And I'm like, So I looked at the PR, and she walks over there to the man and tries to talk to him. And Big Easy saw her, and he came over and told the guy,
Yeah.
And then
there
he
you
brought
go.
us in there.
WeHo Sports doing the YMCA.
And at the end, he took this lovely things and gave it to us all sweaty. I'm not watching mine.
No, I'm not washing mine.
I didn't see yours on the table, but you know what? This Game Pass may end up on the side court.
I'll see your side court.
Yes.
In fact, but I'm so proud of myself. I got an interview with the captain of the World All-Stars, their opponents.
Really?
Yes.
And who won the game? Because we've sit here and talked about this for now.
I told George, but he wouldn't believe me.
I thought the
That the
All-Stars
Globetrotters would win no matter what?
They're not going to win because they only have won twice.
Yeah.
In 88 years.
I
Who,
said,
the
well,
Globetrotters have only won twice?
No, the All-Stars.
Oh, the All-Stars. Well, you know why? Because they're losers. And the Globetrotters, they have all the tricks. They know how to throw the ball around. They know how to do all this special stuff. You know, thank you to the Globetrotters. Are they still in town, Raul? Are they done?
No, they're done in here, but they are going around
So
California
maybe out here on our website.
And I think we're done here.
And we're done here, so we'll see you next week. Same
Right here?
time, same channel.
Same bat time.
Probably not with the same people, but
I'll be here.
we'll
I'll be
have
here.
We'll have some guests that I just spoke to tonight.
We'll
so.
talk Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Comic-Con. There we go.